Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the 2010 Reveal the Shield Turbo Trax figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at all the accessories that come with him and how you can use them to help you know if yours is complete. We will of course do some comparisons with him and his Generation 1 original self. We can then see which other figures have then similarly used the same mold as this. And because this is now 2022, we can also have a quick look at one of the most updated versions of him and how this figure still compares. So quite a lot to go through with you today. And before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody, if they're not a subscriber to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. Okay, let's start off with this beautiful looking alternate mode. The original obviously was a Corvette, but this looks more like a Jaguar F-Type. You've got lovely silver on the rims. You can see the tyres there. Of course, the wheels go round. We've got this rather odd sort of flame display. It's okay. It would have been far, far better if we'd have had the original flame like that. You can also see, obviously, the original was a Corvette, and the newer, well, this version at the time, the newer one for the time this was made, is much bigger. We've also got the reintroduction of the rub sign on the roof, which is brilliant, and hence why that's called, or that's why it's under the Reveal the Shield, and it's working. The Reveal the Shield toy line. The toy line itself came out in 2010. It was sandwiched right in between the two movies, so we had some classic figures like this, or Generations figures as they're now known, sandwiched in with a few movie bots as well. Now, the funny thing is, there is a big gap under here, which we can fill in a second, but also the Generation 1 figure as well also had a big gap underneath. But what we've got with this particular figure, though, is we've got these three accessories. So two of them are identical. I'll show you how to use them in both modes, and we've got his weapon accessory there as well. But we're going to focus on these for a second, because what you can actually do with the C-clip around there, and then with the additional little tab, which is going to click into there, you can see that this will fill out the space in the side of the wing and in the door there. So I don't know if it makes it look any better, to be honest, but it definitely fills the gap in. And what it also means as well is that we can, of course, do the flying car mode. So I'm going to take this off and we'll reattach it in a second. We're going to open up the door nice and carefully, like so. He says, here we go. So I can open this, turn it. Oh, I've took it right out. Don't worry, I suppose if you've seen me do it, you know that it's okay if yours does the same. Fold that right out, reclip the back part in. It's just a bonus mode that the Generation 1 figure always had, to be honest. It's not the greatest mode. I just wanted to share it with you at the same time. But as you can see, I am really struggling. I'm going to continue though. I'm going to persevere through this carefully. Let's slide this out then. That's opened. I'm making this look far more difficult than it is. There we go. Folded it out, folded the wings, and just clipped the back bit in. Then we can take these, we can attach these here as well. Back on the C-clips, he says, let's click it in there. To be honest, I've not really done this much justice, have I? I made it look a lot harder than it is, but I think most people, to be honest, aren't going to want to display this in this particular mode anyway, because it doesn't look that great. Let's see if they've even got it on the back. I can't remember if they have. They actually haven't. They haven't even got this on the back. So they've got the alternate mode and they've got the robot mode, of course. But this was a mode that was available and was able to use in the G1. You see you've got the wings tucked under there as well. So I suppose they just added it in there for us for the homage to G1. It doesn't look that great. So let's just close this back up, fold them all into position and close them all in. Right, so in fact what I'm going to do while I'm doing that, I'm going to transform him back and we're going to come and have a look at him in the robot mode and continue the video from there. Okay guys, we're back and he's in his robot mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. It will be uploaded separately to keep the length of the video down and not to spoil it for people who want to have a go at it themselves. So the robot mode is great, to be honest. It's really good. The wings, as daft as it sounds, look far better in this particular robot mode, and it's a good job, as I mentioned before, that they have got the bit of detail on the wheels, because although it's mainly for the alternate mode, when he's like this, you want to see the detail as well. If this was was just all black, I don't think it'd have the same effect or the same finish. The rub sign is of course still working. Articulation wise, the head looks like it's on like a ball. It will turn left and right and it will look up and down. Its movement is restricted by the back there though, but you can see there the shoulders, they are ball and sockets. There is bicep flexion, there's wrist swivel, there's waist swivel, there's knee bend, ankle tilt and rock. Again, for the time, very, very good, very articulate, lovely looking little figure. With regards to the accessories in this particular mode, you can see obviously that these are all white and not silver. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because when they reused this mold and made this particular guy, they made a couple of really good changes, to be fair. First and foremost, you can see they turned his legs around. For Wheeljack, it's okay, because that's what we're expecting to see. And I suppose he can just sort of get away with the chunkiness at the bottom. You can do exactly the same with Trax if you wanted to, but it just doesn't look anywhere near as good. And he's also got these extendable bits at the bottom of his legs, which means that he's that little bit taller, which you can see now when I stand him properly right next to him. But what I was talking about was the ratchets and the wrenches. So you see these here. If we take one of these off and attach it, it looks like he's got a ratchet, screwdriver or whatever in his hand. And with it being Wheeljack, it's believable. He can carry it off, shall we say. Whereas when you put them like a ratchet based in Trax's hand, even though this is white, it just doesn't suit the figure at all. It looks a little bit odd. It's not the greatest look, is it? Let's get rid of that glare, sorry. What we do though is we give it the full homage to G1. So we look at these attachments at the back, we clip this into position there, and in fact that's upside down. Let's pop it on this one and turn it over like so. So you can see now that this is a much better use for the accessories and for the gun that can be folded in half and stored underneath inside in the alternate mode. But this is it folded out and ready to use in robot. Is it going to fit in there? Yes, it is. And this is what I mean. Now I'm going to show you in quite a bit more detail about the true homage. Let's get it to stand. He stands pretty well, you know, he's balancing not too bad there, even on this carpet. And let's get you to stand back up. There you can see that he's taller than him. This is Generation 1 Trax. There's the wings coming up at the side and the missile launchers over his head, which I'm sure you'll agree, it's a great homage to that. Now, before we have a quick look at the newest version of him, let's have a look at the packaging. We can see again, we've got the alternate mode and the reveal the shield gimmick. It's talking about it there. There is the robot mode. And if I pop that there, and if I say pause, because there's so many different languages, whichever language you speak, you can then read that for yourselves if you want to. And then if we spin it round, what I have noticed with this one is the feet have just sort of popped out, even though it's totally sealed. And the irony is that they were using rope ties there rather than the plastic, which they've reverted back to these right now. Right, let's try and get no glare there. And as I said, at the time of making this video, it's now 2022, and we had a newer version of Trax last year. And I say newer version, I don't know if it's much better, in all honesty. It doesn't really stand. Colours are maybe on it a little bit better. But this guy, you know, for 11 years predecessor, is giving him a real good run for his money. So what we've got there is, we've obviously got the original G1, which is of course predated before that is Diaclone. So we've got very early 80s, 2010 and 2021. So you pick your favorite. In fact, you guys let me know in the comments which is your favorite. I think this guy in the middle, as I've already said, does give this newer one especially a good run for his money. This, however, is going to complete and round this review off. Let me know what you thought of him. I think the Chug line has always been very good, especially for collectors. And yeah, hopefully I've done this guy some justice for you. Let me know what you think, guys. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.